Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sundaram. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Everything is going on well, sir.
Very good.
நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில நமக்கு நாம நல்லவனா இருப்போம். அதை மத்தவங்களுக்கு நிரூபிக்க முயற்சி பண்ண வேண்டாம். நம்மளை நேசிக்கிறவங்க நேசிக்கணும், நம்மளை விட்டு விலகி போறவங்க போகணும்.
नाही माझ्यासारखंच आहे मी म्हणजे काय आहे माहितीये का जरी ती चूक असली ते त्या दिवशी लक्षात आलं माझ्या त्यांनी ते दुसऱ्याचाच राग काढला तसं चूक आहे ते
आल्या तयार तिकडं फील्डवर गेल्या ते टाकलं बाकीच्या बाया दिवशी मला एक म्हणले 9:30
connected with us virtually. Our guest of honors for the inaugural sessions are Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, former Vice Chancellor Vasantrao Naik Marathwada Krishi Vidyapeeth, Parbani. Dr. Arvind Kumar for the inaugural sessions are Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, former Vice Chancellor Vasantrao Naik Marathwada Krishi Vidyapeeth, Parbani. Dr. Arvind Kumar for the inaugural sessions are Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, former Vice Chancellor Vasantrao Naik Marathwada Krishi Vidyapeeth, Parbani. Dr. Arvind Kumar for the inaugural sessions are Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, former Vice Chancellor Vasantrao Vidyapeeth, Parmani, Dr. Arvind Kumar, Dr. B. Venkateshwar, former Vice Chancellor, Vasantrao Naik, Marathwada Krishi Vidyapeeth, Parmani, Dr. Arvind. We are extremely sorry for the technical glitch. We have Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapeeth. Sorry for the technical glitch. We have Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapeeth. Sorry for the technical glitch. We have Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapeeth. Sorry for the technical glitch. We have Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapeeth. Sorry for the technical glitch. We have Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapeeth. Okay. Hello. Is it okay now? Can we start? Yeah. Okay, we have Dr. V.K. Singh, Director ICAR-CRIDA and President ISDA. Dr. K.V. Rao, Secretary ISDA and Organizing Secretary for this international conference. Yeah. Okay, we have Dr. V.K. Singh, Director ICAR-CRIDA and President ISDA. Dr. K.V. Rao, Secretary ISDA and Organizing Secretary for this international conference. Yeah. Okay, we have Dr. V.K. Singh, Director ICAR-CRIDA and President ISDA. Dr. K.V. Rao, Secretary ISDA and Organizing Secretary for this international conference. Okay, we have Dr. V.K. Singh, Director ICAR-CRIDA and President ISDA. Dr. K.V. Rao, Secretary ISDA and Organizing Secretary for this international conference. We have Dr. V.K. Singh, Director ICAR-CRIDA and President ISDA. Dr. K.V. Rao, Secretary ISDA and Organizing Secretary for this international conference. Am I clear now? It's okay? Okay. Am I clear now? It's okay? Am I clear now? It's repeating, sir. It's okay? Yeah. Am I clear now? It's repeating, sir. It's okay? Yeah. Maybe you switch off the recording for the time. Am I clear? Recording off. Okay? Yeah. Maybe you switch off. Just connect it with recording off. Just check if it's okay. 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 Sorry, we are extremely sorry for that technical glitch. Just check if it's okay. Sorry, we are extremely sorry for that technical glitch. Just check if it's okay. Sorry, we are extremely sorry for that technical glitch. Just check if it's okay. Sorry, we are extremely sorry for that technical glitch. Just check if it's okay. Welcome, sir. And Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, sir. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much, Director, for doing the honors. I now invite Dr. K.V. Rao, Organizing Secretary of this international conference, to welcome our Director with a floral bouquet. Thank you, sir. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity as sunlight expels the darkness of might. Similarly, blessing brings in our life prosperity and happiness. For seeking the choicest blessings for the same, I invite Dr. V.K. Singh, sir, Director CRIDA, to accompany our highly regarded chairman, Dr. Punjab Singh, and guest of honors, blessings for the same, Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, Dr. Arvind Kumar, and Dr. Rajaram Deshmukh, sir, to light the lamp. Dr. Punjab Singh and guest of honors. I also invite all the other dignitaries for the same. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विद्यारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्ये 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 नमो नमः. Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, we pray for your blessing. Give us wisdom to make this world a better place. May all the human beings live in harmony with nature and other forms of life. May the truth prevail. May the darkness of ignorance be swept away by the dawn of self-realization. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, dignitaries. Now let's begin our program with the ICR song. Thank you, dignitaries. Now let's begin our program with the ICR song. Thank you, dignitaries. Now let's begin our program with the ICR song.
जीवन दुग्ध मत्स्य फल यंत्र सुवर्धन वैज्ञानिक विधि नव तकनीके पारिस्थितिकी दुग्ध मत्स्य फल यंत्र सुवर्धन वैज्ञानिक विधि नव तकनीके कृषि पारिस्थितिकी दुग्ध मत्स्य फल यंत्र सुवर्धन वैज्ञानिक विधि नव तकनीके
Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Secretary DARE and DG ICR, Chairman of the inaugural function, Dr. Punjab Singh Ji, Chancellor RLB CAU, Jhansi and former DG ICR and Secretary DARE, Dr. SK Chaudhary, DDG NRM, or guest of honor, Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, former VC, Parbani, VNMKVV, Dr. Arvind Kumarji, former VC RLB CAU, Jhansi, Dr. Rajaram B.S. Deshmukhji, former VC MPKV Rahuri, to this 3-day international conference on reimagining Rainfed agro-ecosystems, challenges and opportunities is being held from 22nd to 24 December. This conference is organized by the Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture jointly with ICAR-CRIDA, ICAR along with knowledge partners, Indian Society of Agronomy, Indian Society of Agricultural Sciences, Association of Plant Pathologists, with support from NABARD, DST, NRAA, DRDO. This conference is being organized to commemorate the 50 years of equipped dryland agriculture project in ICAR system. This conference, which is a first international conference being organized by ISDA, is attended by many from academic, scientific institutions, policymakers of government, industry, CGR institutions, NGOs, KVKs, centers of dryland agriculture, etc. To name a few, we are joined in this conference by vice chancellors of different agricultural universities, Dr. A.K. Singh, RLBCA Jhansi, Dr. N.P. Singh, BEAT Banda, Dr. A.K. Vyas, Kota University, Dr. Omkar Nath Singh, B.A. Uranchi, Dr. Indramani, VNMKV, Parbani, Dr. Jagdishwar, Director Research, PJTSU. Directors of different ICR institutions located in Hyderabad, including Dr. C.S. Srinivasrao from NAM, Dr. Madhur from IIOR, DRR, NRC, Meat and Poultry and ICR institutions across the country, including Dr. K. Samiredi from Niasam Baramati, representatives of IRA, IFSR, IGFR, ISWC, etc. And also representatives from NRA led by Sri B. Rath, Dr. N.P. Singh, member CSCPA, Sri R.B. Sinha, Food and Agriculture Organizations. We have significant number of companies associated with agriculture sector led by IFCO, Anglo-American, Coromandel, Yara, Mosaic, Kosher Climate, Bayer, etc., which is also having a drought adaptation network, micro irrigation companies, Jain Irrigation, Netafim, Finlex, farm machinery-based companies, John Deere, Mahindra, etc. Insurance sector, AIC, HDFC, Ergo, Syngenta Foundation, etc. have joined. I heartily welcome you all for this 3-day conference. It's our pleasure to see today the presence of large number of scientists who have dedicated their lives for dryland agriculture research and is led by Dr. J.C. Katyal, Dr. C.J. Ithanal, Dr. Y.S. Ramkrishna, Dr. K.P.R. Vital, Dr. V.M. Mayande, Dr. J.R. Korwar, Dr. G. Subbareddy, Dr. Mohammad Usman, Dr. Maheshwari, and many others in the audience. I'm happy to extend a warm welcome to you all and look forward to your comments and suggestions in making Rainfed areas a new development tool in the agriculture sector. The presence of international organizations led by IMI, CRISAT, IRI in this conference indicates the importance being given to the development of rainfed areas by the international of them. NGOs are integral part of the development of rainfed areas. We have with us today the RRA network partners led by WASAN, Watershed Organization Trust, Worldwide Fund for Nature, Better Cotton Initiative, LNRMA, etc. And welcome you all for this conference. This conference is being attended by more than 500 participants, both in physical and virtual mode from across the country and institutions located in foreign countries. These include significant number of participants from KVKs of NICRA program, ICAR-CRIDA centers, and my colleague from CRIDA. I heartily welcome the directors of ATARI been attending this conference physically here. Thank you very much for participating. We have eminent keynote speakers and lead speakers from distinguished universities over the globe who will be delivering keynote lectures on pertinent topics covered in 8 symposia, panel discussions, interaction sessions, and plenary lectures. I once again thank all the dignitaries and delegates who have joined us today, both physically and virtually, and hope this conference will be informative, enlightening, and you all have a worthy memories to take back with you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your welcome address. I now invite Dr. V.K. Singh, Director ICAR-CRIDA and President ISDA for the presidential address.
Honorable Chief Guest to this inaugural session, DG ICR and Secretary DARE, Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji, Chairman to this session, legendary researcher and able administrator, or Chancellor to RLB CAU and former DG ICR and Secretary there, Dr. Punjab Singh Saab, our Deputy Director General, Dr. S.K. Chaudhary Saab, Deputy Director General NRM, ICR, Dr. V. Venkateshwarlu Saab, who has been Director to this prestigious institution, as well as Vice Chancellor to Parbhani University, Dr. Rajaram Deshmukh Saab, the Vice Chancellor to BNKV, Dr. Arvind Kumar Sir, former Vice Chancellor to RLB CAU, many legendary and well-noted scientists and able administrators sitting on the first row of this hall. I will name Dr. Katyal Saab, Dr. N.P. Singh Saab, Dr. Oyan Singh, Dr. J.V. Prasad, Dr. Ranjani Kumar, Dr. B.M. Bhale, Dr. Ramakrishna Sahab, Dr. Mande Sahab, Dr. P.K. Misra, and our colleague who has recently joined as a director, Niyazam Baramati, Dr. K. Shami Reddy, my distinguished friend from CRIDA who are settled in Hyderabad. I see all of you and very, very distinguished researchers, delegates from all across India and abroad. I welcome all of you at this occasion. I apologize for initial some glitches, but we could resolve it. Friends, I'm very much thankful that our Honorable DG sir has given a time to us. We know that he is very busy. At this moment, the parliament is going on and very busy schedule, even though he is here, our Deputy Director General, who is the source of inspiration for this international conference. He is with us. I'm really thankful to him. I'm also thankful to Dr. Punjab Singh sir, who is a mentor of many of us and all who has born in the system. I think somehow they got benefited. Sir, your presence is really very much giving an impetus to all of us. Regarding this international conference, why we have chosen this conference, I would like to mention that the rain-fed area occupies around 50% as on the day, and it contributes 40% of total food grain in the basket of the country. And it is the main source of oilseed, cotton, jute, and allied fibers. If you look for the other products like forest product, 100% come from these regions, and 88% of our nutritionals comes from rain-fed and dryland regions. Also, the pulses, oilseed, and cotton. These are the crops which we nowadays stock and looking for enhancing the income of the farmer. Those are mainly grown in the dryland and rain-fed region. So these are some of the major cause for which we thought to have an international conference on it. And apart from crops, if you see the livestock, 60% of livestock are dependent on the rain-fed production system. And 40% of human population of this country lives in this rain-fed ecology. So it is very, very important for the boosting the country farmers' economy, their livelihood, and sustaining the agriculture productivity. So in this way, the dry land is very, very important, but at the same time, if you go in Kharif season or Rabi season, it is highly prone for vulnerability, particularly the droughts and several other extreme weather situations which always hinders the productivity. And that's why the average productivity is hardly 1.3 ton, and the cropping intensity is very low. So in that circumstances, Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture this conference, Reimagining Rainfed Ecosystem, Challenges and Opportunity, we thought, and this is a first kind of international conference which we have targeted, seeing the significance of dry land, particularly why it is the different kind than the others, because at this platform, we are bringing together the researchers, farmers, NGOs, policymakers, and they will once come together, they will deliberate what are the outcome in their domain, either state or the government or in NGO, and that outcome will be really applicable to our policy makers and the other stakeholders. So therefore, the aim is to reduce the burden of our rain-fed farmer and boosting their economy and livelihood. The opportunity, if you look for the opportunity, the whole rain-fed and dryland ecosystem, this is a hub for nutritionals, pulses, oilseed, and it has large opportunity for diversification with fruits and other crops. So we can capitalize these opportunity with discussion in which domain, what kind of opportunity can be put it. For this, we kept 8 different symposia. The symposias are focused on the resilience through land and water management, the managing genetic resources for enhanced stress tolerance, emerging approaches for advanced tools and techniques like remote sensing, artificial intelligence, drones, etc. Climate resilient, how it is useful for risk management, ecosystem-based approaches, and sustainable soil management at ecosystem basis, conservation agriculture, organic farming, integrated nutrient management. All these things is put in one symposia. The resource conservation and rain-fed agriculture is another symposia we are putting, where the resource utilization in rain-fed for higher yield, economics, and sustainable production system will be focused. And apart from this, the institutional and policy interventions for accelerated and enhanced impact will also be discussed in a separate symposia. Not only these 8 symposia, we also kept interactive sessions of farmers, FPOs, agri-startups, NGOs, and scientists. This will be a unique kind of interaction session where all these stakeholders will be interacting. And apart from this, we also kept another interaction session for industry, agri-startup, farmers, and scientists. So that way, we wanted to bring researcher, farmer, public-private partner together to bring a new dimension in rain-fed and dryland ecosystem. We also kept a panel discussion in now most emerging area like natural farming, agromet advisory and real-time contingency planning, insurance need in rain-fed ecosystem. So this is the whole program which we are going to have in next 3 days. I think your presence is very, very valuable to all of us, and your knowledge and contribution will certainly give a new dimension, and the proceeding will be certainly helpful for the policymaker and other stakeholder to make things further processed and taken away. For information to the dais and to the house, we received more than 700 extended summaries for this conference, and out of it, around 500 participants are physically participating, and 200 participants are participating through virtual mode, belonging to 11 different countries. Our distinguished speakers like Professor Ratan Lal, Professor Dr. J.C. Katyal Sahab, Dr. A.K. Singh, Dr. A.K. Sikka, they will be giving these plenary lectures. And also after this session, Dr. Punjab Singh will be delivering a plenary lecture, which will of a great significance. Also, we will be honoring our learned researchers who have contributed a lot for this rain-fed and dryland agriculture throughout their life at this junction. So these are some of the points which I wanted to bring to notice for all of you. And I once again welcome and thanks to all of you for joining this inaugural session, and hope with the guidance and support of our eminent leaders, this whole program will going to be successful. Thank you. Namaskar. Pranam.
Thank you, sir. You have very clearly highlighted the importance of dryland agriculture to meet the future needs. And I firmly believe this conference will address these issues and come out with various strategies to address these limitations. Dr. S.K. Chowdhury, sir, who has joined us virtually. Dr. Chowdhury is Deputy Director General, NRM ICAR. Before this, he was Assistant Director General, Soil, Water and Management in ICAR. His area of expertise includes management of salt-affected soils and poor quality water, climate change impact on agriculture, which is fortunately a much more important segment to be addressed in rain-fed agriculture. So, sir, with these words, I invite you for the opening remarks. Dr. S.K. Chowdhury, sir, for your
Thank you very much.
remarks.
Good morning. Namaste. I believe I'm audible and there is no problem in the audio. Is it okay? If anybody confirm?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Secretary DARE and DG of ICAR, and today's chief guest, Dr. Punjab Singh Ji, the worthy Chancellor of RLBCU Jhansi and Chair of today's inaugural session. We have luminary guests of honors today, Dr. B. Venkat Sarlu, Dr. Arvind Kumar, and Dr. R. V. Deshmukh. All the faces are very well known, and it's really a great pleasure to be here with you and to listen to you in today's wonderful gathering. Dr. V.K. Singh, Director of CRIDA and President of Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture. Dr. K.V. Rao, who is the Secretary of the Society and working in CRIDA. I'm able to see some of my colleagues who have joined virtually, but I'm told that many very senior colleagues are sitting in the hall, although we are not able to see all of them. Dr. J.C. Katyal, I'm told, Dr. Reddy, our Sami Reddy, who joined Director of Niyazam Baramati. Then also Dr. Bale is there, I'm told, and many senior colleagues are there. Good morning to everyone. My colleagues who have joined virtually, Dr. C.S. Srinivas Rao, Director of NARM, Dr. Sundaram, Director of IIRR Hyderabad, Dr. Indramani Ji, Vice Chancellor of VNMKB, Parbhani, and the name appears Vice Chancellor of CCS HAU, Hisar. Maybe Dr. Kamboj have joined, and director colleagues from different Ataris, esteemed participants from various corners of India as well as the world, participants who have joined online in a virtual mode, our young researchers, students, young professionals, representatives of press and media. At the outset, I also add my own words of welcoming all the dignitaries and participants of the conference in the beautiful historical and cultural city of Hyderabad in South India. Friends, nothing is hidden, everything is very clear that the rain-fed and dryland systems of agriculture and their development, these are the key for healthy growth of the agricultural system or agricultural economy, considering its predominance, whether it's India or abroad. Unfortunately, while India's extent of rain-fed area is the largest in the world, its productivity, close to 1 or 1.2 tons per hectare, is one of the lowest and is a major concern. The rain-fed areas and drylands are home to majority of nations and the farmers and rural population, rural masses, communities who always encounter, and most of the time, often they encounter multiple risks and uncertainties related to biophysical and socioeconomic conditions. The rain-fed regions, particularly the drylands, are characterized by relatively higher intensity of land degradation, loss of biodiversity, poor soil organic carbon, low moisture holding capacity, and decline in groundwater table. The climate change has further worsening the already existing state of vulnerability and putting at elevated risk the agriculture production system. The increasing number of weather extremes, rising temperature, uneven distribution of rainfall, these are the clear indicators of the growth complexities. This context warrants a robust global platform that can suggest innovative policies, knowledge, and technologies that will enable practice of an ecosystem-based agriculture that is sustainable while addressing simultaneously the concerns of farmers, their income, consumers, nutrition. All these concerns are there. And therefore, I understand this conference, in my view, is an opportunity to discuss all these issues with global community. Friends, you all are aware, and the Indian agriculture, the kind of scintillations, kind of vibrations which are happening in agriculture, and we are trying to provide resilience to the rainfed, not only the rainfed and drylands, but also Indian agriculture as a whole. We are trying to provide a kind of climate resilience. And for that reason, only we are talking of risk management, the vulnerability assessment, and also we are providing all possible solutions through various mechanisms, either through NICRA or our interstate relationship with various states, providing and coming up with the latest technologies as capacity development of the farmers, and providing everything that is required at the state level so that the benefits of knowledge, benefits of technology should reach us to the masses which they require immediately because of the climate change scenario. Amongst them, land and water management solutions, particularly the interventions which we have in this country, and the kind of upscaling that is happening in various states, and states coming forward to take up this kind of interventions to the lowest level, up to the village level. It is really wonderful, appreciable, and many states are coming forward in this line. So these are the basic things: land and water management solution. We call that the sustainable soil management solutions, or we may call them the integrated water management solutions. These solutions will provide real resilience to the system where vulnerability is happening. The water management and water governance, particularly the water governance part, is very weak in our country, in India. But we can learn lessons from the global community, particularly in dryland areas, what kind of water governance, although rainfed and drylands less dependent on water, but whatever water is available, every drop counts, and every drop is being utilized in proper way, whether it is surface or groundwater or rainwater, whatever. But the governance is only one tool by which many global experiences are there, and many countries globally, they are trying to really revamp and reshape their drylands or their rainfed system. Similarly, ecosystem-based approaches for climate change adaptation or ecosystem services, what we say. When we talk of agroecology or ecosystem services, in present-day context, we cannot stop talking of the consumption of chemicals particularly. Although the consumption of chemicals or fertilizers in drylands or rainfed is comparatively lower than the irrigated sector, but still, if you see total consumption is not really very less. But are there any ways and means by which we can further reduce the consumption? Are there some ecosystem approaches or nature positive solutions? And present day in India, whatever we are doing, we are trying to come up with the solutions which can provide better environment for futuristic agriculture. And whatever nature positive solutions we are looking on, whether organic or nature-based or natural farming or Vedic farming, whatever you call, at global level, when people are clueless what to do under such uncertainties, when fertilizer supplies itself is questionable because of the war situation, warlike situation, supply from Ukraine and Russia is cut down, and also global community is struggling now to get fertilizer material from different places wherever they importing from. But now India is one country which have something to do, and they have, India has some solutions with us. and whether we are talking of organic farming, increasing the area, going for natural farming, increasing the area, this process will certainly reduce our dependence on the costly chemicals, not only costly chemicals, but the fertilizers which are imbalanced use, and that can create futuristic problem of soil health. Similarly, in Rainfed system, genetic resource management or genetic resource manipulation is also one of the important aspects for management of stress conditions. The stress tolerance is very, very important so far Rainfed ecosystem is concerned, and then therefore the genetic improvement or genetic resource management would be a best way forward to live with the Rainfed system. The emerging approaches of biotic and abiotic stresses and their management is also require immediate solutions. So global community needs to get engaged in finding out the solutions for abiotic as well as the biotic stresses, particularly for the Rainfed systems and dryland systems. And now opportunities are there. We have huge information with us. Not only this conference, but we are also celebrating 5 decades of AICRP on dryland agriculture. Also, we have big programs like ICAR and Rainfed agriculture or dryland agriculture itself in CRIDA. We have a very big presence globally, and our CRIDA Institute is continuously for so many decades, continuously striving hard to provide solutions for dryland farmers and Rainfed systems. And in this process, the new opportunities, what wealth we have wealth of information because 5 decades of AICRP dryland agriculture information, then AICRP agrometeorology information, CRIDA information, and a lot of information through our state agricultural universities and whole country. And now we have NRAA with us. So huge information is available. How best we can use this information by the recent approaches of big data analytics or the kind of artificial intelligence, machine learning tools, and also precision farming tools, and whatever improvement in remote sensing data, imagery, and the analysis is taking place, we can take advantage of this situation and can come up with the better solutions for future. One more last point which I would like to stress upon is this kind of opportunity. When so many people are joining together, we are sitting together, this provides us a unique opportunity where we can understand the kind of institutional mechanism which is existing in various countries. Many countries where huge drylands are there, large areas under drylands are there, what kind of institutional mechanism they have may not be exactly fitting to our country in India, but at least some kind of mechanism they have for institutionalizing the linkages, learning from each other, and bringing up solutions for the ground masses. So in India also, like we have some institutional mechanism at the village level in ICAR, or some kind of mechanism which is existing at the institute level, we are trying to go with other institutions and link with them and to come up with the better ideas so that we can create better capacities, better skills, and better programs for futuristic agriculture in the dryland area. So this kind of institutional linkage needs to be understood, discussed, and knowledge sharing should happen so that we can come up with some good policy innovations or policy solutions which can really accelerate the developments in drylands, and we can make better impacts in Rainfed areas and dryland areas. So my best wishes, I'm hopeful that all these things and all these discussions will take place in coming couple of days, 3 days, and the recommendations which will emerge out of this conference, which will be of great use. We'll be looking forward to get good quality recommendations from this 3 days conference. And we hope that this will really help us to create better vision, better program, better impacts for future. All the very best to you, and thank you so much. Namaskar. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your opening remarks and the best wishes. We totally agree with you in saying that this conference can come up with solutions or policies to the questions, some of the questions you have thrown, like reduction in fertilizer application in drylands, addressing various soil constraints in dryland, and also to address the plight of dryland farmers to the changing climate. So I believe this conference will come out with various recommendations, solutions, and strategies that can address the limitations. It's time to hear from our chief guest, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, sir, who has took over the charge of Secretary DARE and DG ICAR on 1st August 2022. So was serving as director, the National Institute for Abiotic Stress Management, Baramati, India. Prior to this, he was director of ICAR NRRI, Cuttack. He is a scientist of global repute, working in the areas of abiotic stresses, climate change, and soil science. We are very fortunate to have you, sir, as our chief guest. I now request you to kindly address our participants on this occasion.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everybody. Honorable Dr. Punjab Singh, Dr. Arvind Kumar, Dr. Venkat Sarelu, Dr. Deshmukh, Dr. B.K. Singh, Dr. Katyal, Dr. Ramakrishna, Honorable Vice Chancellors who are present over there and also joined online, very distinguished scientists working on rain-fed agriculture, distinguished guests, delegates from India and abroad, students, researchers, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me congratulate all of you who are working on rain-fed agriculture for decades for organizing such an important event in CRIDA, Hyderabad. We are also celebrating 50th anniversary of a CRIF on dryland agriculture. So my congratulations to all those who have contributed for dryland agriculture for last 5 decades. Friends, all of you heard about the importance of rain-fed agriculture from Dr. B.K. Singh, Director CRIDA, so I'm not going to repeat those. We know very well around 50% of total area is under this, and this contributes very, very significantly. However, the poverty is also concentrated in these areas, rain-fed drylands, and therefore much more things to be done. Again, all of us heard from Dr. Chaudhary about the challenges of rain-fed agriculture. Challenges of climate change, challenges of poor soil health, challenges of several other dimensions which are creating problems for rain-fed agriculture. All of us also know, we have studied for long, that rain-fed agriculture is in a way synonymous with risky agriculture. Now the point is how to de-risk rain-fed agriculture from all these challenges. Before I discuss on that one, let me also tell you that several achievements have already happened. It is not that rain-fed agriculture has not progressed. Rain-fed agriculture has progressed a lot, though one can argue that the progress may not be as higher dimension or higher magnitude as of irrigated areas. Of course, the fruits of Green Revolution has gone more to the irrigated areas, but rain-fed agriculture has also got a lot of benefit. Let me give you some of the examples. Over the years, there is stability in overall food grain production of the country. That means Indian agriculture has got some kind of resilience. May not be 100% resilience, but some kind of resilience. For example, last Kharif season, the rainfall in Eastern India in particular was very small. Had it been, say, 2 decades or 3 decades ago, then this would have caused a very serious concern about the food security of the country. But this time, probably, none of us have heard any kind of noise from any corner, because we know that the production is still going to be good and we have got sufficient amount of buffer stock. So Indian agriculture is not as vulnerable as it used to be. And suddenly the credit goes to the contribution of rain-fed agriculture. Several resilient varieties, resilient to several kinds of stresses, abiotic as well as biotic, have been developed. We're counting that in last 5 years, ICAR alone has developed more than 700 climate resilient varieties of various crops. To be precise, it is 752. Now, all these varieties are also imparting a lot of resilience to our production and productivity. We all the time say that water management in our country is very inefficient, which is true. But then there are several achievements in this front also. So for example, in the front of micro irrigation, pressurized irrigation, even precision irrigation, there has been lots of advantages and several technologies are now in the pipeline. We also say that nutrient use efficiency, particularly nitrogen use efficiency, is very small, say 30 to 35%. But let me tell you, our recent analysis shows that for last 12 to 15 years, the agronomic use efficiency of nitrogen has not only got stable, but also started increasing. Again, thanks to advanced management practices of fertilizer, agronomy, new fertilizer materials, including neem-coated urea, including in some places, nano urea and so on. So the things that the efficiency of not only nitrogen, but other nutrients are also increasing, and not only in irrigated areas, also in the rain-fed areas. We have introduced new crops like dragon fruit, quinoa, chia, and many others. And all of you know that we are also giving a very good importance to the neglected crops, what Dr. V.K. Singh Saab and Dr. Chaudhary was talking about. Next year, 2023, is going to be celebrated as International Year of Millet. And the kind of importance the whole government is giving on promoting millet, not only in the country, but globally, is phenomenal. And what we expect that because of these, the millets, which are the crops of dryland areas, which are the crops which have got maximum amount of climate resilience, very good for nutrition point of view, very good for tribal farmers point of view, are going to get importance. So this will be again adding a good dimension of enhancing farmers' income who are growing these kinds of crops. You also know that a mega program of soil health, particularly soil health card and several other programs are also going on. NICRA is of course a very good example, like a jewel on the crown of all the programs what ICAR is doing on natural resource management. Several technologies, several policy frameworks, several other developments, including extension, climate resilient villages and so on, are also being developed in this particular project. And in the coming years, we are going to strengthen this NICRA or climate resilient agriculture in a much bigger way. ICAR has got several institutes working exclusively on rain-fed or dryland agriculture. CRIDA is of course of us, no? But again, our new institutes like Niazam, Baramati and others are also going to work very exclusively on developing abiotic stress tolerance from crop improvement point of view, from natural resource management point of view, and so on. And today, almost every university, every ICAR institutes are working on enhancing resilience to abiotic stresses, resilience to climatic stresses, starting from IARI to all our institutes. A major portion of our research is diverted towards enhancing the resilience because climate change is such a serious issue. And all of these, our latest data also show that the income of rain-fed farmers have increased. So not only productivity has increased, not only the resilience has improved, but also income of farmers have improved in rain-fed or dryland agriculture areas. And these are some of the very major contributions of all the research which we have been doing for the last 5 decades, last 50 years. So my congratulations to all the persons who are sitting on the dais, our mentors and luminaries, and also those who are off the dais but have contributed very significantly in promoting rain-fed agriculture, in enhancing the productivity and profitability of rain-fed agriculture in the country and also abroad. But that doesn't mean that we do not have challenges. We have challenges, as Dr. Chaudhary already mentioned. We have challenges of climate change. We have challenges of even today low productivity of several crops. We have challenges of mainstreaming the neglected crops. We have challenges of several other dimensions, and we have to address all of those. Therefore, the need of the day is to come out with new varieties, new crops for genetic improvement, new agronomy, I'm not going to discuss much on that. New agronomy, whether you call it conservation agriculture, regenerative agriculture, and several other dimensions. New ways of water management. And of course, we are fortunate now that we have got several new technologies which are available. Be it genome editing, artificial intelligence, IoT, precision agriculture, and so on. So a whole gamut of new technologies are now available with us, which will certainly help us in developing new products, which we will be able to take to the farmers to improve the productivity. Extension is going to be another dimension. In our next few years, plan is to modernize and revamp all the KVKs of the country so that whatever technology we are generating will be able to reach to the farmers without or more efficiently. Diversification is going to play a very major role, and I am sure in this conference also you are going to discuss about it. A comprehensive risk management strategy, what NICRA has been working, CRIDA is working, but certainly we need to give a new shape to overall risk management strategy comprehensively, not only for crop, but also including livestock, fisheries, and other sectors or subsectors of agriculture. And then, of course, post-harvest management and secondary agriculture, which now we are going to give more and more emphasis. Friends, over the decades, as I said, a good deal of research has been carried out, which has generated significant amount of very precious knowledge. We have got knowledge. We now, in a way, understand the problems and the mechanisms of rainfed agriculture. Now, the key question is to how to transfer that knowledge into practice to solve the current and emerging problems. That certainly we have to work on. What can be done for improving the efficiency of inputs in rainfed agriculture in this country? What can be done, or what extension methodology can be adopted so that all the technologies and practices which we are developing will be very efficiently reached to the farmers? What we talk of delivery or science of delivery. So all of these things need to be discussed, and a very concrete implementable plan has to emerge out. What at the council level we are looking at is technology-oriented research, product-oriented research, problem-solving research, so that the rainfed agriculture or dryland agriculture will be giving a new dimension of development. Our objectives should be very clear, product goals should be very, very clear, and we should also be very clear what the society is expecting from us. As I said, for last 50 years, we have achieved a lot. But then today's challenges are different kinds. Today's challenges are more fiercer, more intensive, and more frequent. So therefore, we have to do the things differently. What they say that repeating same thing is not going to yield different things. It is science. If we repeat the same thing, only similar result is going to come. So if you have to solve the problems of different kinds, then you have to think differently, you work differently, you have to act differently, then only you'll be able to come out with different results. And that is the challenge of all ICAR as well as SAU's researchers. What to do differently, what to act differently, and what kind of different products we really need to come up with. Friends, to conclude, all of you know rainfed agriculture is highly diverse and has got numerous challenges, including climate change, poor resource base, and so on. So therefore, we need to put all of our efforts in a very integrated and coordinated way, every direction, starting from generation of technologies, extension, policy, and so on. I am sure that all of you who have gathered there and those who have joined online, you have contributed significantly in the past, and your inputs in future and today onwards are also going to be very, very significant. I hope that the conference will witness an insightful discussion and come up with implementable recommendations that will lead to more sustainable rain-fed farming, and of course, our farmers also will be getting benefit out of your deliberations, your discussions, and your recommendations. I wish the conference a very grand success. And my congratulations again to the organizers for deciding to organize this international conference on such an important topic. I am really, really happy, Dr. V.K. Singh Sahab and your whole team, that you have thought about it, and all the thrust areas which you mentioned, 8 I think you mentioned, all are extremely important. And I will be certainly looking forward for the recommendations. And I am extremely happy today to see on the dais Dr. Punjab Singh Sahab, Dr. Venkat Sarlu, Dr. Arvind Kumar, and many others. And also in the audience, I could see Dr. Katyal and others. I cannot name all of you, but let me tell you, I am very, very happy to see all of them in CRIDA, Hyderabad today. My respect to each one of our mentors who are sitting over there, and my good wishes to all of you, the organizers, who have put their efforts for last few months, rather, maybe more than a year or so, to make this conference a success. So I wish all of you all success for this. And as our new year is just only a few days ahead, so I also wish all of you a very happy, productive, and prosperous new year 2023. Thank you once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wishes and also for your valuable time to address our participants. Moving ahead with the inaugural program, now it's time to hear from our guest of honors. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, a scientist with diverse research careers in various institutes, ICAR-CRIDA and CRIDA. He retired as Vice Chancellor, Vasantrao Naik, Marathwada Krishi Vidyapeeth, Parbani. Prior to this, he was director at ICAR-CRIDA too. Sir, your inputs during this conference will be highly valuable. I now request you to kindly address our participants.
Dr. Pathak, our DG ICR, who is joined online. Dr. Punjab Singh, today's chairman. Dr. Arvind Kumar, Dr. Deshmukh, and all other dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Katyal and Dr. Mainde, all our senior colleagues in the audience. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. V.K. Singh and his team for having thought about this conference. Very important theme, as DG said. And if you recall, we had a similar conference in 2010 on the impact of climate change on rainfed agriculture. And today, after 12 years, we are now talking about resilience. I mean, the kind of progress we have made in the last 12 years is a testimony for the programs we have been implementing across the country on ICAR-CRIDA system. And as both DG and DDG desired, this conference by ISDA, as you know, that ISDA is a very unique society, unlike other societies which are subject-oriented like agronomy, soil science society. ISDA is a multidisciplinary society, which has scientists from across the disciplines, including even livestock and fisheries. So therefore, this conference is bringing together scientists of diverse interest, scientists from across the universities, ICR institutes. So to that extent, it is a milestone, in my view, after 12, 13 years. And therefore, I think the expectations are also high. And as our DG said, I think more important is to come out with very specific, recommendations from this conference. So I would only suggest, that, for example, we have been talking about yield gaps and many technologies in dryland agriculture. And I think it is time that we prioritize. We just list out that what are the 4 or 5 things which we can push them in the next 5-6 years, so that it will improve the yield from 1.2 tons to 1.4 or 1.5 tons, because we cannot double the yields as many people claim, because the constraints are too many. But at least if we can list out some 4 or 5 important interventions which we can make with little investment across the country, and then come out with a scheme at national level, and perhaps that will be able to contribute a lot from this seminar. For example, the investments on rainfed agriculture vis-a-vis irrigated agriculture, if you see, irrigated agriculture, which covers about 50% or more than about 55%, receives about 80% of the country's investment, whereas rainfed agriculture, only about 18 to 20%. And when we ask this point in the Niti Aayog and all, they say, we agree that rainfed agriculture is getting less investment, but please tell us where we should put the money. Please tell us some specific scheme where we can put some money, where we can come out with a national level scheme. So that is where I think we lack. We really have to convince the planners, convince the Minister of Agriculture or the Government of India that this is where if you put money in the next 5 years or 10 years, you will get this kind of input, which will not only improve the productivity of the rainfed agriculture, but also improve the farmer's income. So I think that is where this seminar has a great role, that we should really prioritize and suggest, where we should put money, both in terms of investment in research, investment in development, and even if necessary, some states have come out with dryland missions. Maharashtra is one example. Dr. Rajaram Deshmukh, who is sitting on this dais, he was a chairman of this commission. And Maharashtra, Orissa also has a dryland mission. But I don't think they have made much impact, because maybe the funds are less, or maybe they are not able to push this, like we have the schemes in rainfed irrigated agriculture. So therefore, I think we can review those schemes where we have, where we have gone wrong, or where we have to improve them. And maybe we can think of some national level scheme on dryland mission, even at the Government of India level. And if that is so, then what are the things which we should do, and where we put this money in terms of investments. So I think with these comments, because a lot of information is already available and many points have been already mentioned by DG and DDG, and we look forward to the comments from the President also on this. But nevertheless, with the International Year of Millets coming up, and also many dryland crops having very less carbon and water footprints, the future, of course, is for dryland crops. And I think it is up to us to really emphasize this point and convince the planners and the administrators to invest in this area, in areas, right areas and right kind of investments, so that the drylands will really contribute to the farmer's income and the country's food basket in the years to come. So with these comments, I would like to thank once again Dr. V.K. Singh for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your addressing. I now take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Arvind Kumar, a renowned educationist and researcher. Sir was also DDG Education in ICAR. Under his dynamic leadership, Education Division ICAR took several initiatives and made policies for improvement of agriculture education in India. Nothing helps deepen knowledge as effectively as sharing it. Your vast knowledge and experience deserved to be shared. With these words, I now invite Dr. Arvind Kumar to address the gatherings.
Good morning to all of you. Let me first thank Director of this institute, Dr. V.K. Singh, for inviting me to this very important international gathering, wherein we shall be deliberating for 3 days on different issues related to a very important topic, reimagining rain-fed agro-ecosystem challenges and opportunities. I am very happy to listen the comments and the views of our Honorable Secretary Dear and DG ICAR, Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji, and DDG NRM, Dr. Chaudhary, and also the words of wisdom by Dr. Venkateshwarlu and the other guest of honor and dignitaries, which will be shared
with the delegates, scientists, and more so the farming community across the country. Particularly, I am very happy to see that many directors of Atari have also been in loop, and they shall also be attending this international conference. Nevertheless, I am extremely happy to see my mentor, Dr. Punjab Singh Ji, the Chancellor of RLB-CAU, I would say the first Chancellor, and under his dynamic leadership, a world-class university have been established, and I have always been blessed by his guidance, and that is how we could develop this world-class structure. We are very happy to see many learned former Vice Chancellor. When we say former Vice Chancellor, many times we forget, but they are really the people who have been our science leader, who have been in frontiers, and they are still contributing a lot to the science. Like Dr. Deshmukh Sahab is here, Dr. Mayande Sahab is here, Dr. Bhale is here, Dr. Katyal Sahab, very senior person. He is a person who has been holding different positions at different places. And fortunately, he is here to bless us and guide us. Dr. O.N. Singh, we have Dr. N.P. Singh, and many other colleagues. I may not be, I am sorry if I miss some of the people, learned people who are sitting over here, but certainly many directors of the ICR institutes are here, like Dr. Misra is here, Dr. Ramakrishna is here, Dr. K. Samir Reddy, who has just taken over as new, you can say, director of Baramati, Dr. K.B. Rao, Dr. Cherry, Dr. Pankaj, the faculty members of the nearby institutions, the scientists from CRIDA, and more so the delegates who have come from different parts of the country to this beautiful city of Hyderabad, press and media, ladies and gentlemen. You have heard about the agricultural system and Rainfed agro-ecosystem, and you know that the farmer in these drylands, which almost constitute rain-fed agriculture, 50% of the India's agriculture, is a source of livelihood for about 40% of the population and almost 2/3 of the livestock. So in dryland areas, livestock is a very important component of the whole farming system. And therefore, we have to pay adequate attention to livestock farming. Of course, many people talk about that because of the enteric fermentation, there is a lot of contribution to the greenhouse gases. But I may tell you that the situation has improved. With the improvement in the feed quality, certainly we can reduce this, you can say, emission. Although, agriculture is not that contributing, energy sector is contributing maximum. Agriculture hardly 17% contributing to the greenhouse gases emission. But there is a need to think about how in dryland areas we can reduce the distress of the farming community, distress because of the poor resources, distress because of the poor investment capability, distress because of the poor marketing infrastructure, and poor adoption, I would say, of the technology which have been advanced in recent years. In fact, CRIDA is a place where, fortunately, you have ICAR-CRIDA, and also ACRIP on dryland agriculture. You have agrometeorology, you have NICRA project, and we are fortunate that this NICRA project in India, we had taken in the initiative much before the world has awakened. So the question is that the initiative which the government has taken, which the ICAR has taken, has paid us dividends in these areas, particularly dryland agriculture. And the role of CRIDA to the, national enhancing productivity in dryland areas cannot be overlooked. And therefore, this international conference is very timely. And I congratulate director of this institute that this is the first international conference of this type. And maybe after several years, the society has initiated such a massive program and the large number of participants are joining it. So congratulations to all the staff members, faculty members, all the organizers, and all the members of the society. The distress of the farming community, the wide distress, because farmer is not aware of the technological advances. We were talking about artificial intelligence, drones, whatnot. But how many farmers are really aware of this technology? How many farmers are aware about the precision agriculture? How many farmers are aware how we improve the water use efficiency, which is hardly the rainwater use efficiency. I'm not talking water use efficiency, rainwater use efficiency, which is hardly 35%. So how we can improve this rainwater efficiency, how we can reduce the runoff is still ranging with depending upon the topography, depending upon the soil type, and the agroecology is 10 to 30% is lost as runoff. So these are the reasons we have to educate the farming community, create more awareness. There is insurance scheme, crop failure is there, vagaries of monsoon is there. There is shift in the temperature conditions. There is shift in the overall climatic situations. And we have to educate farmer that how he can take up the challenges, how he can grow the climate resilient varieties which have been developed by Indian Council of Agricultural Research, universities, and other agricultural systems. The use of the renewable energy, this is one of the important factors. Drylands, a lot of sun in these areas. And India has taken a lead as a global, international global solar alliance. And India has already contributed significantly towards harnessing this renewable energy, particularly solar energy. And the country is able to harvest about 14.9% of the solar energy, 10.2% of the wind energy, and 11.5% of the hydro energy. So this is a significant thing. In fact, in dryland areas, farmer not only can enhance the availability of the solar energy, but can also sell it into the grid system. They can earn income because it is not only agriculture which will pay dividends to the farming community, to the income to the farming community. If we talk about the agricultural lands and the income, 60% of the income is generated by irrigated farmers. But in dryland areas, hardly 20 to 30%. So there is a need to enhance the income by way of non-agricultural activities, by way of other, systems whereby like secondary agriculture or value addition, marketing facilities, whereby they can enhance their income. Ultimately, our objective should be to enhance the income and reduce the misery of the farming community. There are many government policies in this direction, and you are well aware of this Kusum Yojana, that is Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Utthan Mahabhiyan, whereby natural energy, this solar energy, solar pumps, it is one of the important component, and a lot of funds have been given. In fact, Agri Infrastructure Fund there is a need that how we can utilize this fund in a best possible way. The farmers need to be educated about the role of organic matter, need to double the organic matter, role of crop diversification. In areas farmers are using, when there is irrigation facilities, they again go for rice, they go for sugarcane. Even in Bundelkhand region, where I have the opportunity to serve for about 8 years, you can see that where the irrigation facility is available, farmers have started growing, you can say, rice. Is it the way to deal with these rain-fed areas? We have to see, our Honorable DG was talking about the International Year of Millets. You will be aware that few days back, only day before yesterday, I think the parliament, they were given the, items which were prepared by the Nutri-Millets. And this is a good thing. I have been discussing with Dr. VK Singh that to the delegates also, because Millet Institute is also here, why not to provide one lunch with the, Nutri-Millets, so that, our delegates are more energetic. So I think Dr. VK Singh has agreed, and probably that will be taken care of. So why I'm talking about the Nutri-Millets and millets? Because these are the, strength of these islands. Pulses, oil seeds, more than 80% millets are grown under rain-fed situations, contributes, even pulses, 80%, oil seeds, 70%. But have we shifted to this? Even in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, you can see, still many farmers, 40% area is under rain-fed rice. Should it be there? 60% area under rain-fed cotton. Should it be there? So the question is, we need to diversify. We need to tell farmers that he need not to rush behind only rice and rice. And we have to see that the pulses, oilseeds and millets are given lot of emphasis, particularly during this International Year of Millets, which the government of India has taken a lot of initiative. Then one more thing I would like to talk about to reduce the distress is you have to adopt the cluster-based approach. The farming are reduced. If we talk about 14 crores farmers in this country, 13.8 crores of the land holdings, you can very well see that the fragmentation of holding is taking place very fast. And that is why the marginal and sub-marginal farmers are increasing day by day. So the cluster-based approach, we can take the advantage of forming the FPOs, and which is paying dividends. New startups in agriculture are coming up. So in dryland areas, these are the areas which we need to take up to reduce the distress of the farming community. As far as the scientific part is concerned, we have told certain parts like improving the rainwater efficiency, enhancing area under the micro irrigation system, which is hardly under 9.2 million hectare at present. And the government is paying a lot of emphasis, but still there is many things need to be done. Increasing area under biofarming, educate about biofarming, bioirrigation, use of bioresources, conservation agriculture. These are the areas where we need to provide stress along with precision agriculture and smart agriculture. Another thing is the degraded lands. In fact, degraded lands are about, you can say 96 million hectares lands, about 36% area is under degraded lands. How we can improve these degraded lands? This is a challenge. And there is a target by Government of India that by 2030, 1 billion hectare degraded lands would be brought under cultivations. Because 50% of the humanity is affected because of the degraded lands. And this is, one of the major factors. And lot of dryland areas, we have the opportunity to improve such lands. Friends, you may be aware that as I talked about, the livestock sector is very important. We talk about food system now, we don't talk about the farming system. And we have to see that by 2030, If we talk about the total food, I am not talking about the cereals, I am talking total food. As per the estimate, we are at present having 822 million tons of the food production, not only food. I'm talking food, don't confuse with the total food grain. What item we take it? But we need to enhance up to 1122 million tons. So 30% more we would need. There is a need to enhance the productivity. Much more can come from drylands. Of course, there is a limited scope, but with the advancement in technology, with the advancement in resources, we can certainly make it. In fact, Government of India has now ambitious plan for 78 districts, whereby they have put 6,000 crores for water management plans. And in these 7 states, particularly Gujarat, MP, UP, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and Haryana, they have been included. So we need to take the advantage of this this is up to 2021 to 25-26, and many schemes. In fact, in dryland areas like drought-prone area program, drought-prone development program, watershed development program, many schemes have have been launched, and they have really paid dividends. And I have no hesitation to say that CRIDA has played a tremendous role. The past directors are really to be cherished on this occasion, that their technology, their leadership has really paid dividends to the country. The one important thing is that we are extracting more of the groundwater. In fact, 30% of the blocks now under dark zone. How to reduce this groundwater extraction? That is another challenge. A policy is needed on that. In fact, Andhra Pradesh and you can say the Telangana, much is tank irrigation, but in northern areas the groundwater extraction is much more, and we need to think how we can reduce this groundwater extraction, because if it is more than 70% of the recharge, naturally there should be water deficit, because already we are meeting the water deficit. If we talk about the per capita cubic meter in 2007, we have already been in the scarcity water stress zone, and the water availability will further go down. So water is an important factor. We need to conserve water. We need to understand the importance of water. One more thing I would like to talk about, the implements, the farm mechanization, the smart farm mechanized farming. In fact, the bullock farming is one of the important components in dryland farming. If we go to many parts of the, here in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, or so on, on Monday, many of you must be knowing that they worship bullocks. They don't take any work. That is holiday for the bullocks. So that is how, the dryland farming is still, they have the bullock farming, but still we need to have improved smart farm mechanization, because labor day by day is decreasing. It is becoming a costly input. And in fact, more of the farmers are now becoming laborers. The number of farmers, the number of laborers have exceeded than the number of farmers. So we have to see how we can reduce the labor, how we can reduce the cost, how we can minimize the use of external input. In fact, when we talk about Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, there the fertilizer use is more than almost near double than the national average. So that is the question. On one side, we say that semi-arid tropics are the areas where large number of poor people are here. They are contributing 70% of the malnourished population. You talk about across the globe, be in sub-Saharan Africa or the Central America or Asia, or to name the different parts of the country. But we have to see that these areas, we need to educate that how we can improve the poverty, how we can take up to different countries. One last thing I will talk about this global biodiversity framework. On Monday, last Monday, the convention has been signed by 190 countries, whereby they have concluded the complete restoration of 30% of the degraded land by 2030, and reduce the wastage by 30%. In fact, farm-based there is about 80 million tons of the farm waste coming from dryland areas. Either it is burnt or wasted. We need to use it properly. So that is the challenge with us, that how best we can use it, how we can have the production of the terrestrial, inland water, coastal and marine ecosystem. Because when there is a human intervention, there is impact and it will ultimately affect the ecology. So effective conservation and management of at least 30% of the world land, inland water and coastal areas is the pledge which have been taken by the you can say 190 countries during the recently completed GBF, that is Global Biodiversity Framework. And currently only 17% and 10% of the total terrestrial and the you can say the other areas are you can say protected. So we need to protect, like forest cover it was talked about, and we need to improve the forest cover. We need to have the more and more carbon sequestration. One more thing I will talk about, why the millets. In fact, millets, you must be knowing, they are like jowar and bajra, particularly coarse cereals. They are, the nitrous oxide inhibitors. And that is one way that they can also have less impact on the climate change. But we need to educate, like still there is a old variety, Maldandi, you must be knowing, Rabi jowar, which is grown M35-1, it is still in place. We need to improve. Of course, we need to have biofortified, improved varieties, climate resilient varieties for dryland situations. Of course, I don't say that work has not been done. Work has been done, but we need to take it far away so that we need to improve the income of the farming community. In areas like Jharkhand and Assam, where large portion is rainfed, we need to take up the waste and we need to educate how to improve the income of the farming community. So overall, we need to make the investment, more investment in dryland areas, still more education, more extension education program, and better marketing facilities to improve the overall economy and reduce the distress of the farming community. Thank you very much for giving me the time and also giving me the opportunity to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now, our next guest of honor is Dr. Rajaram Bapu Sahib Deshmukh, who is the former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapeeth, Rahuri. He has earlier worked in various capacities, including Director of Research at MPKV Rahuri. He was also advisor for Dryland Farming Mission of the Department of Agriculture, Government of Maharashtra. Currently, sir is Director of Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation Limited. His contribution in the field of agricultural research and development was recognized by several national and international agencies. We appreciate your presence here, sir. We firmly believe your valuable input would meet the purpose of this conference. With these words, I now invite Dr. Deshmukh to address our participants.
Our chief guest and DG ICAR Secretary Dear, Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji. Today is the chairman of the session, our former DG and Secretary Dear, Dr. Punjab Singh ji. Deputy Director General, Dr. S.K. Chaudhary ji, Dr. Venkat Charlu ji, Arvind Kumar ji, Dr. V.K. Singh ji, Dr. K.V. Rao, Dr. Katyal ji, Dr. Mayandi ji, Dr. Bhale, Dr. N.P. Singh, and many others, all dignitaries and participants. I will not take more time because our chairman is to speak and it is already 11:06 now. I would like to just share some of my experiences here. our rainfed agriculture is characterized by two things mainly. One is very low growth rate in rainfed agriculture is very low, and is also highly volatile. Sometimes it's zero, and sometimes even it goes minus. So instability in production, that is the major, I will say, the characteristic, or you may say the constraint in rainfed agriculture. Why it is happening so we know very well. Particularly when you go to dryland agriculture, within rainfed, when you talk about the dryland areas where the evaporation rates are much higher than precipitation, there the situation is worst. And it is further worsened by the climate change. What we are experiencing during last few years, particularly this year, it was worst for Maharashtra. There were floods and there were also droughts. Monsoon was delayed, and then repeated rains were issued, torrential rains were issued when the crops were ready for harvest. So this is how probably we are facing the problems in rainfed agriculture. Now the government of Maharashtra, as it was mentioned by Dr. Venkateshwarlu, started a dryland farming mission, and fortunately I got the opportunity to work there. A very well planned program was in place. We implemented for 2-3 years. But then the major problem there was the release of funds, because this was mostly the program to be implemented by the development department. As it was rightly indicated, that awareness among farmers. We have developed several technologies through CRIDA, and it's all centers all over the country. But how many of them are really used by the farmers? That is the big question mark. Say, for example, take intercropping or any cropping system recommended. Or say water management, on-farm water management. Now, to once again to show these technologies and implement on farmers' field, this dryland mission was started in Maharashtra. We selected one village from each tahsil, and then idea was to extend it to second year, maybe you add one more village, third year you add again one more village, and then fourth year you leave first village and then add another village, like that. But then for that it has to continue, and all the tahsils were covered, and there was a lot of flexibility in the program, that depending upon the local situation, the program was to be implemented. Anyway, but the Kharif starts in June, grants are released sometime in October. Rabi starts in October, grants are available towards the end of March. So this is how the program cannot be implemented. But it is true that lab to land program or the institution village linkage program which we implemented, particularly through our dryland research station Sholapur, at certain villages in Sholapur district, were very, very useful. So such programs probably will have to be continued. So we cannot in rainfed agriculture, we cannot expect that the fertilizer doses and use of pesticides will serve the purpose. No. On the contrary, it will withhold the progress. That is what I feel. Because the prices of fertilizer and pesticides are going up and up. While whatever farm produce is available from rainfed agriculture, hardly they get any prices, say, to meet the requirements of the farmers. Maybe they are meeting the expenses that have been incurred by the farmer on cultivation of land or the farm operations, but his requirements are much more than that. So naturally, diversification probably will be important, diversification of crops. But then there are again limitations in diversification. whatever cropping patterns have been evolved over the ages, you see, were probably the best suited practices for those areas. But the climate change has again made the difference in that. The monsoon, see, was quite regular earlier, but nowadays we see there are several changes in that. Also, the temperatures are increasing. So whatever the cropping patterns were there, probably we'll have to think of them once again. And the best practice technology, the dryland technology, is to make the water available. Lot of work has been done in Maharashtra in soil water conservation for last several years. I remember actually the bunding work was started right in 1943. Basically, it's a dry state. Most of the area is rain-fed, and in that again there are, say, certain areas which are really dry. So the bunding or soil conservation and then water conservation do help. In our now we are implementing Jalayukta Shivar scheme, but in dryland farming also we had made a provision to have some nala bunds in every village, and then farm ponds. Through nala bunds and the farm ponds, some protective irrigations were made available. And that also encouraged certain farmers to go for dryland horticulture, where limited water was available. So this is how, say, pomegranate was one of the crop. Nowadays, the custard apple is another. So they are catching up, and the farmers are getting good money out of it. So if at all we want to improve the rain-fed agriculture, our focus should be increasing the income of the farmer, not increasing only the productivity of the food grain crops, but increase the income of the farmer. That will automatically help in improving the rural economy as such. Now we are implementing one program on what is known as POCRA, that is Project on Climate Resilient Agriculture in whole of Marathwada and part of Vidarbha. So certain districts have been covered under this program. It's a World Bank project. So here again, our the idea is to implement these technologies and to increase the income of the farmer. We have another project being implemented, that is Gram Parivartan, something like that, where the processing of and value addition of agriculture produce at every tahsil level, it is being implemented by the government of Maharashtra. Jalayukta Shivar, I already said. So these are the one more point. The whenever water is available, the farmers are going for sugarcane. That was mentioned by Dr. Arvind Kumarji. Why they go for sugarcane? There are certain reasons. Everybody can understand. Probably it is one crop where it is least affected by the climate change and many other things, maybe diseases, pest and other things. So suitability or the easy, probably ease in cultivation of the crop is probably with the sugarcane. Also the very well organized industry, processing industry for sugarcane is there. So naturally farmers will be tempted to go there. But under rain-fed situation where the protective irrigation is only available, sugarcane cannot be grown there. But then cultivation of fruits and maybe vegetables and some other crops, seasonal crops, that is quite possible. And that is how we should look for the dryland agriculture or the rain-fed agriculture. That is what I would like to suggest here. Friends, as I said, I don't want to take more time now. I will leave the dais, make it available to our today's chairman of the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words and addressing the participants. Now I invite my colleague Sneha to proceed with the releases of publications. Sneha.
Thank you, Dr. Vishal. Our various publications are key to communicating our progress in dryland research, and several more journals keenly follow CRIDA's work. Hence, I call upon all the dignitaries on the dais to please come forward to release our major publications. We start with a souvenir on this first international conference on reimagining Rainfed agro-ecosystems, challenges and opportunities. It is a compilation of valuable viewpoints and editorials of eminent scientists in dryland and rainfed agriculture, and also carries the messages from our honorable cabinet ministers and eminent personalities. The editorial committee for this souvenir includes Dr. K. Samreddy, Dr. A.K. Shankar, Dr. V. Vishakumari, Dr. V. Girjaveni, Dr. K. Ramesh, Dr. K.B. Rao, and Dr. V.K. Singh. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you. The next publication is an e-publication. We proudly present our compendium of extended summaries of ICRA 2022. It comprises a large number of selected extended summaries submitted by the delegates of this conference under the specified 8 themes and comprises a whopping 915 pages. It is indeed evidence of the amount of new ideas and innovative research that has come through as part of this conference. It is edited by Dr. C. A. Ramarao, Dr. M. Srinivas Rao, Dr. Shravana Sukumaran, A.K. Shankar sir, Dr. G. Pratibha, Sumanta Kundu, Dr. K.V. Rao, and Dr. V.K. Singh. These extended summaries will also be presented during the course of this conference in the form of oral, rapid fire, and posters. The third publication is also an e-publication, and it is a special issue of the Indian Journal of Dryland Agricultural Research and Development, published by the Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture. This special issue covers the various research themes of ICRA 2022. The editor-in-chief is Dr. K. Srinivas, and associate editor is Dr. B.M.K. Raju. A further team of editors comprises Dr. R. Rajni, Dr. K. Gopinath, Dr. B.V. Esevar, Dr. M.S. Shirahati, Dr. Manmohanjeet Singh, Dr. S.S. Rathod, Dr. V. Vishakumari, Dr. K.L. Sharma, and Dr. Rajiv K. Singh. The next publication for release is a special issue of the journal Indian Farming, published by the DKMU ICR. This special issue too covers the various research themes of ICRA 2022. The advisory board is led by Dr. A.K. Singh, and this issue's editorial is by Dr. S.K. Malhotra. Please give a big round of applause. The last publication for release is a special issue of the Indian Journal of Fertilizers, published by the Fertilizer Association of India, commemorating this ICRA 2022 conference. The editor-in-chief is Dr. Arvind Chaudhary, Director General FAI, New Delhi. Thank you all. I thank all the dignitaries on stage. I now call upon Dr. K.V. Rao, Joint Secretary, ISDA, to initiate the award felicitation. Thank you.
Thank you. Respected dignitaries on the dais and of the dais, we are proud to inform that the Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture has initiated several awards for the first time, including Dr. K.L. Sharma Young Scientist Award. This award is sponsored by Dr. K.L. Sharma, former Principal Scientist and National Fellow at CRIDA, ISDA Fellow and ISDA Best MSc and PhD Thesis Awards in Dryland Agriculture. I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly present the awards of two different awardees. Dr. K.L. Sharma Young Scientist Award for the year 2021 goes to Dr. Shivajyoti, Scientist, ARS Anantapuram, for her research contributions in the field of dryland agriculture. There are two ISDA fellows for the There are 2 ISDF fellows for the year 2021. The ISDA is pleased to award Dr. V.V. Gabane, Senior Soil Scientist, ICAR-CRIDA Center, Dr. P.D. Akola with ISDF Fellow 2021 in recognition of his outstanding contribution to dryland agriculture. Dr. V.V. Gabane, please. Now I invite Dr. JVNS Prasad, Principal Scientist Agronomy at ICAR-CRIDA, to please come on to the dais and receive ISDF Fellow Award for the year 2021. Dr. Prasad has made significant contributions in the field of agroforestry, conservation agriculture, and climate resilient agriculture. Another category of awards is Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu Award for Excellence in Dryland Agriculture Research. This award is sponsored by the family of renowned dryland researcher Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu. May I request Mr. Sudhakar, son of Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu, to please come on to the dais for awarding this, for giving these awards also to join the dignitaries. The award is being presented to 2 awardees, one each for the years 2020 and 2021. The ISDA is pleased to award Dr. D.H. Ranade, former Chief Scientist, ICAR-CRIDA Center, Indore, with Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu Award for the year 2020 in recognition of his significant contributions to dryland agriculture research and development. Dr. Ranade could not attend the award for some reasons, so we will send the award citation and medal to him with our colleagues from Indore. The ISDA is pleased to award Dr. B. Sadev Reddy, Chief Scientist, to award Dr. B. Sadev Reddy, Chief Scientist, ICAR-CRIDA Center, Anantapur, with Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu Award for Excellence in Dryland Agriculture Research for the year 2021. Dr. Reddy has developed different rainwater management technologies, farming system modules, development and popularization of farm pond technology and cropping systems for scarce rainfall zone of Andhra Pradesh. To commemorate the Golden Jubilee of ICAR-CRIDA, the Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture and CRIDA are privileged to honor the stalwarts of dryland agriculture who have shaped the dryland agriculture research, education, and development of the country during last 50 years. I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly felicitate the stalwarts with citation.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. J.C. Katyal, sir, to please come on the dais and receive the honor. Dr. Katyal, sir, has served as Director, CRIDA, Director NAM, DDG Education, Vice Chancellor, CCS Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar. He has also served as member, convener, chairman of numerous national and international committees. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Dr. J.C. Katyal, sir. Now we have Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, sir, former Director, CRIDA, and Vice Chancellor of VNMKV Parbani, to please receive the honor. He was Director of CRIDA. He has provided leadership for dryland agriculture and climate change research in the country. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have on list Dr. V. M. Mayande, former Vice Chancellor, Dr. PDKV Akola, Dr. Mayande was instrumental in bringing recognition to CRIDA through his outstanding research in farm mechanization and development of several small farm implements. He is also recipient of several awards, including Rafi Ahmad Kidwai Award of ICAR, ISAE Gold Medal, and many more. Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. KPR Vittal, former project coordinator ICAR-CRIDA and former director of Kazri Jodhpur and founder director of Niyasam Baramati, for the honor. His birth and career was entirely spanned in dryland agriculture, and his contribution have been recognized at both national and international level. He was found a life member of ISDA and secretary for record duration, that's from 1988 to 2007. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Okay. Next, we have Dr. C.H. Srinivas Rao, sir, director, who has joined online. Dr. C.H. Srinivas Rao, sir. Okay. May I now invite Dr. Y.S. Ramakrishna, sir, former director, CRIDA, to please come on the dais. Dr. Ramakrishna sir has served as project coordinators ICRIP on agriculture metrology for 2 terms before taking over as director CRIDA during 2003 to 2008. We acknowledge his scientific contribution, especially on agriculture drought classification and management, microclimate modification, and crop weather relations. Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. P.K. Mishra, former project coordinator ICAR-CRIDA and former director, Indian Institute of Soil and Water Conservation, Dehradun. His contribution on various aspects of NRM, including irrigation, hydrology, and watershed management, and ITKs have been well recognized. He developed online software for hydraulic structures, drought management plan, and software for undivided Andhra Pradesh, field manuals on soil water conservation, watershed management, and so on. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. May I now invite Dr. T. Elamanda Reddy, former Dean of Agriculture, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agriculture University, and former Chief Scientist of ICAR-CRIDA Center, Anantapur. Dr. Reddy is a well-known author, particularly among agronomy students and researchers, for his textbooks on principles of agronomy. His 2 other publications, Efficient Use of Irrigation Water and Dryland Agriculture Principles and Practices, also well known. Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Dr. C.J. Inknal, former Director of Research, UIS Bengaluru, to please come on the dais for the honors. Dr. Itnal worked on dryland agriculture from 1967 to 1995 at 3 important dryland centers, that is Raichur, Hagari, and Vijaypura, which were coincidentally former dryland centers established during 1933 to 34. His contributions, particularly in the field of dryland agriculture and watershed management, are highly commendable. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. M.A. Shankar, former Director of Research, UIS Bangalore, and former Chief Scientist of ICAR-CRIDA Center, Bangalore, on the dais. Dr. Shankar has more than 37 years of experience in research on natural resource management, dryland agriculture, farming systems, farm mechanization, micronutrition, and cropping systems. He has several awards to his credit, including Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu Award for outstanding research contributions in the field of dry farming. We value your contribution, sir. Thank you so much. Now I invite Dr. G. Subba Reddy, former project coordinator ICAR-CRIDA and head division of crop sciences CRIDA, to please come on the dais for the honors. Dr. Reddy has developed several technologies on rainfed cropping systems, rainwater management, drought management strategies for rainfed crops, sustainable soil management practices for efficient use of natural resources, particularly watershed management and farming systems. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together to invite Dr. G.R. Korvar, former head division of resource management CRIDA. He has made significant research contribution in the fields of agroforestry, weed control, pasture management for small ruminants, alternate land uses, agronomy of dryland crops, and natural resource management. He has published more than 175 research papers in journals of national and international repute. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. G.R. Maruti Shankar, former project coordinator, ICAR-CRIDA, to please come on the dais. Dr. Maruti Shankar has published 188 research papers and 60 books and book bulletins. He was recipient of 7 Best Research Papers Award and was part of Best Research Institute Award to CRIDA in the year 1996, and also part of Chaudhry Devilal Outstanding ICRIP Award to ICAR-CRIDA Center. Thank you, sir. Your contributions to CRIDA will be always recognized. I now invite Dr. M.V. Padmanabhan, former head, transfer of technology CRIDA. His major contributions include studies on bench terracing, hydrological studies of waterbeds with different land uses, farm ponds, and development of alternate conservation practices such as conservation ditching. He was a major contributor for the CRIDA publication Field Manuals on Watershed Management, a very successful reference book for those working in watersheds. Thank you, sir. I invite next Dr. K. Sammi Reddy, Director, National Institute of Abiotic Stress Management, Baramati, and former head, Division of Resource Management, CRIDA, to please come on the dais. His major research areas include soil health management, soil phosphorus management, climate change, rainfed agriculture, and soil carbon management. He has several awards to his credit, including Fellow of NAS, Fellow of Indian Institute of Soil Science, Hari Om Ashram Trust Award, and many more. Thank you so much for your contribution to CRIDA, sir. I now invite Dr. G. Rajeshwar Rao, Head, Division of Resource Management, CRIDA, and former Director, ICAR-TFRI, to come on the dais. Sir has completed several research and development projects on sustainable farming systems and climate resilient research. His research output is evidenced by publication in referred journals of high ranking apart from the other publication. Dr. Rao has also served as Secretary of ISDA. Please give him a big round of applause. Next, I invite Dr. Muhammad Usman, former Director CRIDA, on the dais. Dr. Usman has made an outstanding research contribution in the field of dryland agriculture, watershed management, and agroforestry. He has more than 150 publications to his credit. He is life member of several societies and contributed immensely to the ISDA as secretary during the year 2019 to 22 as chief editor of Indian Journal of Dryland Agriculture Research and Development. अभी दे रहे हैं इसके बाद जो मिस हो गया था. The ISDA is pleased to award Dr. B. Sahadev Reddy, Chief Scientist, ICAR-CRIDA Center, Anantapur, with Dr. J. Venkateshwarlu Award for Excellence in Dryland Research for the year 2021. Dr. Reddy has developed different rainwater management technologies, farming system modules, development and popularization of farm pond technology, and cropping system for scarce zone, rainfall zone of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. M. Maheshwari, former Director CRIDA and former Head DCS CRIDA, to please come on the dais. Her field of specialization is stress physiology, in particular drought tolerance in rainfed crops. She has been the principal investigator for several important research projects, including a flagship project of ICAR on national innovations on climate resilient agriculture. She is recipient of several awards, including the coveted Punjab Rao Deshmukh Women Agriculture Scientist Award of ICAR. Thank you, ma'am. We could not honor other stalwarts in this inaugural session as they were unable to attend the felicitation ceremony due to unforeseen reasons. The other awardees are Dr. H.P. Singh, former Director CRIDA, Dr. S.R. Singh, former Director in Indian Institute of Agriculture Science, BHU Varanasi, Dr. T. Vishnumurthy, former PC ICAR-CRIDA, Dr. B.R. Hegde, former Director of Research, US Bangalore, Dr. M.B. Gullet, former Dean PGS, UHS Bagalkot, Dr. M.B. Nagdeve, former Director of Education and Dean, Dr. P.D.K. Akola, Dr. Srinath Dikshit, former Director Atari Bangalore, and Dr. Y.G. Prasad, Director Central Institute of Cotton Research. Thank you. This is all about the awards. We have few more awards, the award for the best MSc and PhD thesis that will be presented after the plenary session in the evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you all the dignitaries on the dais for presenting various awards and felicitating the stalwarts of dryland agriculture. Thank you one and all. Now I call upon my... Okay. Sorry, I missed one, the stalwart to be mentioned, Dr. C.H. Srinivas Rao, Director NAM and former Director CRIDA. He was online. Thank you so much. Now I call upon Jagrati to take over further.
I thank all the dignitaries on the dais for doing this honor. It's a privilege to have Dr. Punjab Singh as a chairman for this inaugural session. Though sir needs no introduction, but to give you a glimpse of his illustrious career and motivate youngsters, I take this opportunity to present before you his achievement in brief. Dr. Punjab Singh hails from the village Anandpur district, Mirzapur, UP, and he received his education from Agra University, BSc 1962, MSc 1964, and PhD from IIT, Kharagpur. Presently, sir is Chancellor at Rani Lakshmi Bhai Central Agriculture University, Jhansi, and also the President of Foundation for Advancement of Agriculture and Rural Development. He is a noted agriculture scientist and academician and has been serving Government of India at various levels and has been Secretary of Department of Agriculture and Research Education there and Director General of ICAR. He has served as Vice Chancellor and Director in major university and research institute like IGFRI and IARI, and
an university like BHU, Jawaharlal Nehru Agriculture University, Jabalpur. He has also been with FAO of United Nations and headed the crop sector while being located at FAO Regional Office for Asia and Pacific in Bangkok. Sir has been the leader and member of several high-level delegation and team, scientific body, research and nomination committees, both at national and international level. This indeed has given him a wide range of experience of working with various systems within and outside the country. Hence, now I request Dr. Punjab Singh sir to please address this session.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. No, it's good morning, rather, no afternoon right now. And for this session, we have 3 minutes left. It's supposed to end at, but anyway, I think I will not take more than 5-6 minutes because lots of things have been said. Don't want to repeat that. But let me begin with greeting all of you. Those who are present here in audience, and also those are attending the conference online, and also to very distinguished colleagues on the dais. I don't have to name them individually. They are stalwarts in their own field and very significant and very outstanding dignitaries. I mean, you can say that all that you need, people that you need in Thailand, they are here, those who have contributed. So I welcome all of you and guests, delegates, the research scientists, staff of this institute, and delegates attending, within country and from outside country, friends from the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me, as I said, I welcome all of you. Now, this is a very, what we call the auspicious occasion when you are really celebrating 50 years of an institution. And if I have to say, 50 years is a very small journey in an institution, but CRIDA has contributed very, very significantly over the last 50 years. And I recall back, the auditorium near Dr. C.H. Krishnamurti Sahib at that time, we recall, and the contribution of all those who are sitting here has really made a very significant change in the entire system. And therefore, I take this opportunity to congratulate each one of them, and to director and the secretary and others for the society, that they have really recognized them, they have honored them, and we feel gratified that we could meet many of them, and we feel that they're really good and have done a tremendous job in improving. Two things that have been very clearly said. Let's not underrate Rainfed. For reasons that Rainfed has really made, as you heard the secretary, if Dr. Himanshu Pathak on the online attending, my regards to him, and also Dr. Chaudhary, that it has really moved forward. I mean, you can't have that kind of shock in agriculture, in Rainfed agriculture I'm talking, which used to have 10-20 years back. I mean, of course, there are vagaries where you have extreme situation, but if you have a minor kind of things, or even mid-correction that is possible, we have been able to sustain that. And that itself is a technological development. What I'm trying to say here, by any standard that you measure, the contribution of CRIDA over all these 50 years has been enormous. And this is one of the very rare institutions of the ICR, which cut across all disciplines and all sectors, including social science, which is very important, and therefore this attains a very high significance in eyes of ICR, and also its contribution not only for India, let me underline, even for the countries around those who are meeting technology from the institution. So I think it's a time that we give them a very big clap to all the outstanding scientists who have made this contribution. Now, we have also, our congratulations to those who have, as I said, those who have honored and got the award. I will just mention, having said all this, I will just say a few things. I do not want to repeat because immediately after this, I have to deliver a keynote address on the same topic. I do not know how I am going to say that. Everything has been said. But even at the cost of repetition, you will have to tolerate me next 1 hour, maybe after this session. So let us do that. But 2-3 things, as I said, the future growth of country. Let me underline this word. If we are really you're going to make a significant dent in agricultural growth and development, it has to be from the regions which have been unexploited, maybe eastern region of the country, eastern part of the country, and then basically the rainfeds or dryland, whatever you call. I mean, those are going to be of a very high significance. And therefore, I think our focus now, one of the very major recommendations which can go that let the government think, and the focus should now shift from rice, wheat, and all kind of crops that we are talking to these crops which are really resilient to drylands and the crops which can really give you return per unit of investment much higher than what these crops can do. And also, as has very, very well said, that all these nutritious cereals and those who are very rich, I think we should give time for these crops to really get a place in that. And all that has been, they are very important for the reason they are by even now as a very large area, about 50% of the total area that we have, and maybe 69-70 million hectare, and will continue to be so for time to come. And therefore, technology is the only rescue, only way that you can really escalate. I mean, you can really bring change in the life of people. This is also important because this is in the regions where, as you heard, that those who have larger poverty, people with, let us say the weaker backgrounds, and therefore attention weak livestock or human being. And therefore, this needs very high attention from our side. And therefore, one of these recommendations have been going on, but it's time. And you'll find there is a shift. There's a change in shift, whether you say the diversification or replacing the crops, introducing the crops, introducing the other sectors of agriculture like husbandry, horticulture, and fisheries. All these changes are taking place at a very significant level, and that I am very sure that will make a change. As I keep repeating, today's agriculture is very different. I mean, today's agriculture is very different than agriculture of yesterday. And tomorrow's agriculture is going to be very, very different. You are talking of precision, you are talking of drones, you are talking of ITs, you are talking of AI, anything that you think of, not only talking. I mean, you'll be amazed to see that many projects that we have sanctioned in, National Fund. The results are very encouraging. You'll find that entry of IITs and the central universities, our own institutions have made a very comprehensive technological development in many areas that we think can be real productive, enhancing the productivity, because productivity is one issue. As we keep saying, if you say today that you have 312 million tons of food grain or 342 million tons of horticultural crops, what you need, even your 2050 is covered. As a matter of when you say you need 350 million tons, we have already gone that scale. But the question is, what are you going to do with that? If you are adding to that, you have to divert the resources, therefore give a little slowdown or halt to the system that you have, shift to the other, agriculture sector, which can really bring a major change, both from the nutritional point of view, and more importantly, let me underline, from saving natural resources, which is the demand of the day. Water, for instance, every one of us know there is no point to detail that, but every drop of water is becoming important. Therefore, bring those varieties, bring those crops, those who require less, deliver more, make you more healthy, and they are quite risk resistant compared to many crops. We find that they fail, both from the biotic and abiotic stresses. And therefore, I think that should be a major shift, and which is happening, and which I feel that it is important, and we'll be able to see that. The other important, that natural degradation, we are talking at a very loud scale, but even degradation is taking place, and therefore, more importantly, we should shift to these crops which are really quite adapted, non-disturbing, and therefore you can really make use of. Today's question is not producing more. It's like, as I said, today's agriculture is very different. Yesterday's agriculture had been produced, never bothered about what we are losing. And today we are saying we produce at the cost of very high degradation of natural resource, particularly water. land and even biodiversity. Today's agriculture demands that you move, increase production at the same time, simultaneously improve the natural resource. This is very easily said, but this is very, very difficult. In other words, what you achieved very quickly in last 50 years, 30 years, 40 years, you are not going to maintain same momentum because you have to struggle to keep up the resource at the same time, increase the productivity, which I said was not the case when we wait for the green revolution, or we talked about producing more and more because we had to feed. Now we are quite stabilized, we have capacity to export, we have capacity to store. There are many issues we should take care, I think we'll be able to really make. And therefore, as I said, the major contribution has to come from these lands because, and they will, as I said, deliver much faster for the unit or the budget or the human resource, water, even soil, whatever you are putting, I think your delivery on investment will be much better. And I think time that we should really do that. And therefore the major, you have heard, major problem that you are struggling, very low productivity, very yield gap are very high in these areas. And therefore, three major things that is, which is normally suggested. See, as I said, NIACRA project has made a very outstanding contribution. We have all reviewed and see that certain different committees, there are many technologies which are very, very important. And this has made a change in some states. Dr. Venkateshwarlu operating a big project, Maharashtra has got out the areas that are demonstrated. Now, the idea is to, three things which become therefore important, that you consolidate the gain. If you have done something in Maharashtra, move to Rajasthan, take it to UP, take it to Gujarat, another state, so that you are able to spread the technology in a bigger way, which is not again easier, but maybe easier than going to do a further research and refine and do that. And therefore, one aspect could be we spread the gains that you have received, as we are saying, you spread the gain of green revolution from Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP to Eastern UP and many other states that you have. And second important thing is that you then spread the gain. And third, which is very important, which I am saying, that you have to really keep harping for very potential modern tools and technologies, because today's agriculture is touching the sky. People have gone to cultivate on moon. They have already cultivated the entire ocean, and verti farming, horti farming, everything that you are thinking today is a sign that indicates that every inch of land, every even pots are being cultivated by some kind of design that we are finding. And therefore, these crops and important group of crops, which we are referring, for the area that we are referring, must get the place in those. And that is a major change that we should suggest, because it's a time to shift. You don't have to stick to a crop. It was very rightly said, that major investment in terms of money, in terms of manpower, is going to just 3-4 crops. Rest of the crops are just, being treated like as we treat in the, our, and even in the government allocation. Let me remind you that even in these areas and crops and even people do not get the same kind of support and enthusiasm, encouragement as the crops growing, those who are growing rice and wheat that they are getting. And therefore, it's time that we all should think over this and see that we change it and really generalize to see that we move from this to another sector. And why I am saying is because the gain that you get in a given time, which will be much faster and will also be much sustainable and will also be very used for the human health and consumption that we say. Because, fortunately, next year is the international year for millets. And same way you'll have all other crops which are really related to that. I think emphasis should be given on that to see that we can do. And therefore, resource conservation technologies, precision agriculture, and even, climate resilient technologies, which you can read. Many of you are very well aware, there are many technologies. Shocks, floods, droughts, and all this come, many things can be washed away. What to talk about? There are technologies which can really take care of some kind of medium, some kind of shock that comes. And that itself is a great development that we have made over a period of time. And all of you sitting here, let me underline, without saying that you have contributed to this development. And that is why we very proudly we say that 40% of the contribution comes from this 50% of the area's land. 40% of the contribution in food grains from rain-fed agriculture, not a small thing. This has increased over time, but major contributors now, for want of resources, for want of shortage of resources, particularly water and soil, we have to move to this kind, and this contribution that you will get will be much better, much shorter, and much economical and data, and will also reach to the people to whom we want to reach, which is again to be underlined. Because those who are, poverty stricken, those who are in these areas, they have got, whether the human or livestock, they are really neglected. And I think it's time that we should address to these issues for the sake of improving the whole system that we have. And I think it becomes therefore important that we focus on this. And as I said, I have a lecture in the after this lunch, before lunch. So we'll discuss some of those things that we have in that. But I think I must wish you all a very happy New Year. And at the same time, with the president of the society, Dr. V.K. Singh, a very dynamic director. We have watched him for years, his activities, whether in Modipuram or in IRI, wherever. And also Dr. Rao, who is presently the secretary of this, with whole band of team, who have online, offline collected all those who matter. Because getting people today is not a very easy task. The hall is full. In fact, there was no place for people to sit. They're looking for chair and all that. Many have disappointed and gone back. I'm sorry for them. But I think the whole process, they have really worked hard. And the whole team, I'm naming only the secretary, that doesn't mean many of you who are deeply involved in that have really dug very hard. And I think you deserve appreciation for the whole process. So I will stop here and say that the future is dry land. From every prospect that you talk, whether it's a climate, environment, ecology, saving natural resource, increasing productivity per unit investment that you make, and even produce something which is much more useful. आधे आदमी कहा जाता है कि आप राइस मत खाइए, शुगर है, अवॉइड करिए. Nobody will say that for millets and smaller millets and all that. So let us get on to that, prepare everything, whether it's a laddu or roti or whatever. I think that will make a sense and difference because you are getting a very nutritious food. So let us work for it. I am sure it's time that we are able to really cope up. But let me end by saying that let us not say rainfeds have been neglected. Compared to, yes, as I said, investment and all that, but rainfed have also made a quite significant improvement. As I said, you feel, and the whole, if at all, if I don't know if I am wrong or no, but you find about 80 to 85% contribution in those. Our entire technology goes to, All India Coordinate Project and Ryland Agriculture Institute. I mean, this place, which has been its, arms, is spread all across country through different projects, very useful projects. And that has really made, and it is time that you spread it, take the transfer technology, get it to people and see that what we have achieved gets a larger acceptance and delivers a larger dividend. And I think that's our major focus. And we do that, we are moving and we'll be able to make these 310, 12 million ton, I'm saying about 4 million ton, before we reach, 2030 or 50, for which the target is much less than what we have achieved. And the other day I was questioning in a presentation that if you have achieved this man and this is the target, why are you working for it then? Just store it for some time. And therefore the emphasis also to shift, whether it's a question of whether to produce or conserve or process. I mean, of course you cannot stop one, but they have to go simultaneously. If we do that, I think nobody can stop us becoming champion in agriculture in whole of the world. Today we say we are second economy. I think we will no time we'll say that we are first. And I think agriculture is one sector which has saved the life of people, which has saved the honor of the country. Corona is one example, mind you, 80 million tons. So for 80 crore people, for more than a year or two, feeding free, no country can afford. First country that created, Food Act, food bill, that everybody should have food. I mean, it's something very challenging. We should be proud of it. Particularly agriculture scientists very proudly say that. ICAR is actually bringing a compendium on this. which I think in a month it will be out, which you have a group of people who are working, which really predicts in about 100 pages all technologies, important technology I've heard, and the impact that the agriculture has created on Indian economy, environment, employment, and even creating productivity and all that. You'll see it's a very interesting document, and when you really read it, you'll find what all we have done, whether it's a vaccine, whether it's a varieties, whether it's a rice or basmati rice, or even these crop. I think that is very, very laudable. And I think that is how we are doing it. So wish you all the best and look forward for a very strong participation and very crisp and few recommendations which could be eye-opener for people. And if are able to push that through VK, I think we shall be able to really put to the Niti Aayog or anybody he wants. As was very rightly said by Dr. Venkateswarlu, there are people on the policy front, they are waiting for, looking for, they don't understand. Not their fault, because agriculture is our domain, and what is to be done, what is to visualize, what is to be put, what project to be taken is our responsibility. And I say, if you go with that, nobody will hesitate, giving you fund and projects. And let us keep that, strength. Let us keep that vibration and go ahead as we have moved in past. And I think we'll never stop it. So thank you and all the best. And thank you, VK, for inviting me for this very important conference. Thank you very much. Thank you.
One of our stalwart luminaries, Dr. C.H. Srinivas Rao, sir, has joined online. Sir, we would like to acknowledge your contribution to CRIDA. Sir has served as serving as Director NAM Hyderabad. He was earlier Project Coordinator ICAR-CRIDA and Director CRIDA. Under his leadership, CRIDA has bestowed with Best Institute Award of ICAR. Dr. Rao is recipient of about 40 national and international awards, which includes Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award for Outstanding Research in Agriculture Sciences in the field of Natural Resource Management and Agriculture Engineering. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Visha. Thank you all. Thank you all.
So please accept our token of love and appreciation.
It's a great honor to receive it. But my best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Visha ma'am. Proceeding further with the program, now I request our Director, Sir, Dr. V.K. Singh, to please felicitate our Chairman, Dr. Punjab Singh, sir, with shawl and memento. Now I request our Director, sir, to further felicitate Dr. B. Venkateswarlu, sir. I again request our Director, sir, to felicitate Dr. Raja Ram Deshmukh, sir. Last but not the least, again I request our Director, Dr. V.K. Singh, sir, to felicitate Dr. Arvind Kumar, sir. I humbly request our organizing secretary, ISDA, Dr. KV Rao, sir, to felicitate our director and president of ISDA, Dr. VK Singh, sir. Thank you, all dignitaries. I request Dr. Prabhat Kumar Pankaj, sir, Treasurer ISDA, to formally propose a vote of thanks on this occasion.
A very good afternoon to all the dignitaries, respected chairman, chief guest, guest of honor, our most distinguished guests, participants, students, farmers, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture, as well as CRIDA, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests present over here, offline and online. I take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to our chief guests, Honorable Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Secretary DARE and DG ICR, for connecting with us virtually despite of his busy schedule, even during Parliament sessions are going on. We are extremely grateful to you, sir, for your insightful address. I will begin with sincerely thanking our esteemed chairman of the session, Honorable Dr. Punjab Singh, sir, Chancellor RLBCAU, whose presence itself is indicative of his love and affection towards the development of dryland agriculture. His address was unique, always because of his novelty of ideas as well as style. Sir, we are very much thankful to you for coming over here and gracing the occasion. Sir, your ideas which you have shared are truly thought-provoking, and we will work on that. We are very much thankful to our guest of honor, Dr. S.K. Chaudhary, DDG NRM, for gracing the occasion virtually. Sir has a special affection towards dryland development and CRIDA, which has been exhibited by his speech. Sir, thanks once again for gracing the occasion. We are extremely happy and delighted to have Dr. B. Venkateshwarlu, sir, former VC, VNMKV Parvani, and former Director CRIDA, who has really guided us in all aspects of his international conference by virtue of being chairman of technical committee. Sir, thank you very much for your kind guidance and your presence over here. We are blessed to have Dr. Arvind Kumar, sir, former Vice Chancellor, RLBCAU Jhansi, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Sir, your thoughts have truly inspired us. We are very much thankful to Dr. Rajaram Deshmukh, sir, former Vice Chancellor MP KV Rahuri, for gracing the occasion and sharing your wonderful experiences with us. Thank you very much, sir. I am very much thankful to all the senior stalwarts of dryland agriculture present over here in the auditorium for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion. We are fortunate to have directors or their representative from different ICAR institutes, Valmatari, Atari representatives from ICAR-CRIDA, NIPHM Managed Water Vasan. Sir, your presence has made us blessed in organizing the gatherings easily. We are thankful to them for being knowledge partner in this mega event, apart from providing all the logistic support generously, which make our task very easy. We are truly delighted to have received financial support from Indian Council of Agriculture Research, NABARD, DST, and DRDO. We would be like to sincerely thank our diamond sponsors, IFCO, NABARD, Anglo-American, silver sponsors, ICAR-CRIDA, IWMI, IRI, South Asia, Better Cotton Initiative, Biofac Input Private Limited, WWF, Yara, Bears, and bronze sponsors like NRA, Alliance Biodiversity, Coromandel International, Kosar Climate, Pokhara, Mosaic India, Israel Chemicals, Sertan, Agri-Tech Private Limited, Juari, and other supporting organizations like Titan Genetics and Crop Science, Sri Bhavani Enterprises, and Space Veterinary. We are truly obliged to get assistance from different directors of Atari for supporting this event through mobilizing KVKs. I must express my deep gratitude to our respected beloved director and president of ISDA, Dr. Vinod Kumar Singh, sir, for the initiative he took in holding this function, and also for deciding to invite the eminent scientists, academicians, and policy makers from India as well as abroad for making this first international conference a grand success. Sir, we are thankful to you for nurturing all the activities related to this event to ensure that we always do the right thing in the right way. My expressions are sort of word for Dr. KV Rao, organizing secretary of this whole mega event, who has worked day and night wholeheartedly towards the success of the event. Sir, we feel very happy to have your minute-and-minute guidance in organizing this mega event. We are very thankful to various committees, chairmen, conveners, and members for organizing this event a great success. Participants of any events make the fruit of event and seed for the future. We are thankful to all the online as well as offline participants who had come over there long ways across different parts of India and world to attend this international conference despite being Holy Week of Christmas. We are very much thankful to the exhibitor who have taken keen interest in coming over here and bringing the exhibits, which is going to be a major attraction of this mega event. We are extremely delighted to have farmers from SC Subplan, Tribal Subplan, Farmer First Project, ICAR-CRIDA, and Vasan. We are thankful from bottom of our heart to press and media officials who has ensured greater coverage of the event as well as press meet. We are extremely thankful to our CAO, CFO, administrative and financial officials for timely processing of files and supporting us immensely in all endeavors. Our sincere thanks goes to in charge and staff of vehicle, TOT, guest house for support beyond dot, who have worked with great dedication to make this program a great success. I might have left many names as we have to cover the word of thanks in limited time span. So I would like to thank you all who have contributed directly or indirectly to organize this event for a greater cause of farming community. I hope that coming 3 days would be comfortable with great learning. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. मैं अब सभी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया राष्ट्रीय गान के लिए खड़े हो जाएं।
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना उत्कल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
There are few announcements to be made here. All of you please assemble in the lawn for the photograph and then please proceed to the exhibition for its inauguration, which is followed by high tea. High tea has been arranged at 2 places, one at the exhibition hall, near exhibition hall, and one at the lawn. All have to assemble for the plenary session in this auditorium at 12.